I was a rep for Hume Industries for 5 years prior to going into the business. We started when I was 25, so I'd been involved in the civil industry through Hume's with pipes, but particularly crib walls, crib retaining walls, and that was what I went contracting for. I was constantly explaining to contractors how to build the walls, and in the end I decided I'll blow this, I should do it myself. I just was keen to get involved in business. My father was a butcher, my grandfather was a cabinet maker and then a builder, and I wanted to have my own business, so it was just the opportunity to initially go contracting.
We got married very young, but I always knew he was ambitious, and I liked that. I couldn't marry someone that wasn't ambitious.
I had the opportunity to consider a property in Papakura. It was a ½ an acre industrial land, covered in fruit trees, and I persuaded Leone to buy that land, to buy that property. It was a nice brick home.
It was right by a railway crossing, trains shunting at night, early hours of the morning, peat ground, and it wasn't my ideal home, you might say. We had manufacturing happening right outside our back door, and our bathroom, our toilet was shared by the workers, so there was no privacy for a home life. And the washing line became the symbol, really, of how long I was prepared to stay there.
The clothesline was quite a distance down. We had a nice green area for the kids to play, and gradually as we progressed, I needed more room to store, and I'd instruct the guys to move the clothesline closer to the house. Anyhow, Leone reminds me that at one stage the clothesline was actually touching the house and we needed more room. So I said, guys, move the clothesline around the front on the roadside. Leone overheard this and said, you move that clothesline, I'm leaving. So that was the story there, yeah. We
gave it 4 years when we moved there. We said 4 years, and then we hoped to have a home separate from our business. And 4.5 years we did move out, but when the washing line was going to move out the front of property, that was it for me.
To be a nationwide company, that was a big goal. But the people around us, all our team, they were just dying for it. They really wanted it to happen, and they made it happen.
John's always been very visionary, and I've been always supportive in that vision. And so we've always agreed where we're going, I guess. Sometimes he's had to pull me along behind him because I haven't been quite so ready to give up on some things, but we've had to put everything on the line at times for the company, and that can be a little bit threatening sometimes to your personal security. But we've always worked hard and managed to achieve our goals, and that gives you the encouragement and belief to go on and go even bigger, which is what's happened.
We did do a trip down to Paeroa to open up some pump stations. For the first time I went on that road trip with him, I was nervous as anything because he was the big boss, and he had a little red sports car for a start, so that made me nervous. We got inside this low red sports car, and he said, would you like a peppermint? And he opened up this, curiously strong peppermints. They're only tiny. And I said, I'll open it, you're driving. No. And he can be determined sometimes. And he goes, no, I can handle it. And he goes, at this, and they just went everywhere. The dash, between us, on our laps, everywhere. And he goes, oh, like this. And I was thinking, crazy. And on the way back was even funnier still, because there's a little service station that's opposite the Castle Dairy there on the way down to Paeroa. And he comes up there behind a car that's already parked getting petrol, and he hits it. And I'm looking at him like, can't you see the car there, And he goes, oh. Next thing I hear this tap on the window, and I look over, and all I can see, because the car's so low, is his crutch. And it splattered this lovely suit in petrol. The petrol had blown back and then gone all over his suit. And he's going, like this. And I'm thinking,
We were to sell one of his big properties, and it was for a very large sum. and I was to pick him up, and popped into a petrol station on my way to pick John up. And I pulled in, and the petrol bowser was faulty. The handle came off on my hands and poured petrol all over me. It gushed over me, and I smelt like a Molotov cocktail. And went down to pick up John, but funny enough, petrol actually evaporates very, very quickly off your clothes. And in my silk suit, I didn't get on the hair, and I looked $1 million, but my pantyhose had wrinkled down to the bottom of my ankles at this stage, and I'm starting to scratch, but I looked fine, but I smelt like a Molotov cocktail. So I picked up John down the road, and of course he gets in the car. What's that? And John hears my story, so he gets on the phone, rings BP, and he's giving them Watto all the way out to Papakura. I had to wind the windows down because no air conditioning was going to handle the smell of me. Luckily John didn't smoke, or me. We get out there, but by this stage my hair was everywhere because the windows were wound down, so all the hairdo that I'd spent a fortune on doing this big deal, it'd gone.
I really liked listening to the way that he talked and how he felt about the industry, and it's easy to catch that passion and get the bug. Comes and he does one of his speeches and just rouses you up, you know, and you feel good, and says, oh, this is what's happening and this is where we need to go, and I'm just really happy to follow.
We actually employ craftsmen, and those craftsmen make these products. And if you see the process, you can hear it in the background. These spun pipes are actually individually moulded by a craftsman. If you look at the products we make at Wanganui, the pipe product, the plastic pipe product, or you go to Oamaru to see Gillies Metal Tech, those guys are all craftsmen.
And the biggest challenge was actually to shovel all this concrete. That was quite a physical job. And I do remember, Paul was wrapped as soon as he'd done his first one. So
I did one pipe, mate, and I was on cloud 9. All done by hand. The stripping was all done by hand. Everything was done with these.
My 37th anniversary has just cocked over, if you like. I think Paul's been here, he's over 25 years now, or somewhere like that.
I mean, this is my first job from school. Same as Dave Jack, I think it's his first from school as well. And that says a lot for us too.
I think the family values are incredibly important, and you just have to look at New Zealand as a country in terms of its psyche and its demography. People relate very well to a family business because you've got the same values, the same things you're trying to strive for.
People know that it's privately owned, so rather than dealing with the Fletchers and the Humes people, some people prefer to deal with private small businesses, and it does make a huge impact on what we do. It just has that personal feel about the whole thing.
This is my second family, the whole lot, Hines and the guys as well. Everybody I work with, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
John still comes down and still knows our names, which is quite brilliant after 600 odd employees through the place.
Why I've stayed here for as long as I have is the integrity of the family, and I trust them.
It's like your own family, Hines. I met Adrian when they were only little toddlers, and straight away I said, oh shit, you're going to be my boss one day, and look at him now.
Most importantly was the encouragement of my young son, who was about this high when I instructed him that he was going to be an engineer. I was explaining to him the big vision for the company, and we needed engineers.
Particularly for Adrian, when he was at university, it was a chance for him to have some pocket money in holiday times, and he got put to work at one stage as being a sales rep, and he had a V-dub. He used to go around in his V-dub and see customers. And Aaron worked in the office for a year before he took himself off to Japan, which lasted a period of 6 years, coming and going.
But every time I came home, a bit of me was changing. And Japanese ethic in regards to loyalty to the family and to the business, I started to learn from my teachers.
So when Aaron came back, he got involved in different projects and took himself off to university as well to get some university training in business. And now they're really well placed they've really got the competencies to be able to do whatever's required of them in the industry. They understand it so well.
The good thing about being a brother to Adrian is that I'm the younger brother. So he takes charge, he takes lead.
It was always what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be the boss as well. So it was just it's how it is. I still think of it as a family business. It's maybe not a small business in terms of the fact that it's over lots of different sites, and it's involved with different disciplines, but it's everything that we've built ourselves, so you sort of get to know it. So I guess it's a journey along the way. I sort of think of it as that the business is part of the family and the family is part of the business, really.